Thanks for joining the Real Mom Gang podcast, where 4 new moms bonded over their obsession with baby classes and keeping it real. Here's your hosts, Amanda, Chantel, Jenna, and Lauren. Happy New Year! Hope everybody had a really good holidays. How's everybody feeling today?
Good. Hello. 2020.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's our first podcast of the decade.
Woo!
Yeah. Insane. Thanks to all our new followers. You can follow us on Instagram at The Real Mom Gang, also on Facebook, The Real Mom Gang. You can listen to us on any podcast provider, as well as our website, therealmomgang.com. We are super excited to be kicking off the new year and the new decade with a special guest, Stephanie Henderson. Welcome, Stephanie.
Thanks, lady.
Yay.
She is a first-time mom, wife, yoga instructor, fitness and water sport enthusiast, a lover of everything food and cooking. And Stephanie was nice enough to share some fun facts for us. Number 1, she has spatial awareness glasses that help her not run into door frames, wall corners, or freak out over escalators. That sounds interesting. Number 2, she taught pole dancing for fitness for 4 years and once did a performance on an aerial hoop for a business anniversary party. I bet your husband loves those skills. Number 3, she put a rib out using a snot sucker when her baby was sick. This is a true story, and it was something else. And number 4, she once made her own thong bodysuit. Number 5, she is thrifty AF. I guess that's why she made her own bodysuit. And number 6, she accidentally posted a video that displays her nipple on her Insta stories. So I think that's really where we need some more explanation.
So my baby was about 4 months old. Her name is Olivia. She's now 7 months old. And we were going on our first road trip to Saskatchewan to see my family. So Saskatchewan roads, if you've ever driven them, are not awesome to begin with. The shoulders are pretty much non-existent. There's not exactly always a lot of places to pull over. So baby starts losing her marbles. I was looking for somewhere to pull over. By the time I actually got off of the road, she was completely just screaming, losing it. So I was wearing one of those shirts where like half of it goes up and half of it comes down.
Yes.
So I quickly hopped in the back seat, flipped the top part up, the bottom part down, so that I could just throw her right on the boob as soon as I got her out of the car seat. I unbuckle her, lift her up, and she had a car seat poop that went all the way up her back.
Oh, I didn't know this
both
part.
Legs. It was everywhere. It stunk, and I was holding her up in front of me like Simba, and I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do with you? So I turned her around. I just propped her kind of standing on my leg, and I grabbed my phone and I put it on selfie mode, and I took a video, and I was like, car seat poops for the win, and just kind of panned down because I was gonna send it to my husband, and then I watched it. I'm like, oh my god, that's hilarious. So I sent it to my husband, sent it to my mom, sent it to my mother-in-law, sent it to my sister-in-law.
Oh my god.
And then I was like, okay, this is too funny not to share. So I just popped it on my Insta story. And then hours later, one of my girlfriends from high school actually texted me, and she's like, hey, so you probably didn't realize, but your nipples showing in that video in your Insta stories. And I was like, what? And so I go back and look, and sure enough, as I'm panning down, you can see full nipple, areola, everything on the way down before it cuts to her butt and the poop stains. And I was absolutely mortified. I'm not a technology buff. I didn't know how to remove Insta stories. I had to.
I don't even think I would know how to remove an Insta
story. And so I finally got it down, and I was dying. And then I was I texted that to people. You can't get
your mother-in-law.
back.
It's out there for the world right now.
Oh my god. Yeah, and she's like, if it helps, I didn't even notice. One of the other girls that we went to high school with saw it and texted me.
Oh, so people are talking about
it. And I'm like,
shit.
And so I was humiliated the entire day. And I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'm hashtag free the nipple, right?
Yeah.
Girl, it is 2019. Tits out. Just that's mom life if I've ever seen it.
Awesome. I like that.
Okay. I've actually seen the video.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, and it's definitely a nipple.
I didn't see it.
So now I heavily edit anything that goes on.
You're gonna see it on like
Any
Pornhub
kind
or
of
something.
right? Yeah. It was a quick. It was so quick.
Nipplegate 2019.
Yeah. So that was that.
Yeah. Nip slip. Wow. So you did also mention that you have quite a few stories like that. So what would be another top one?
So I guess postpartum for most people, I think, is a little bit of a hot mess. You can never fully prepare for what those first like 24 to 48 hours are going to be like. I was one of those lucky individuals who labored for almost 2 full days. I think it was like 27 hours of hard labor. I had planned for a home birth. We ended up having a cesarean, so completely opposite end of the spectrum. But I had done so much research before we got started. And one of the things that I read everywhere was like, whether you birth at home or in the hospital, whatever, if somebody offers you a stool softener after birth, take it.
Yeah,
So, like, do not argue.
Yes.
Just like consume that thing because
My sister's like, there's no pain like labor pain than your first poop.
Yeah.
Especially if you end up having any medications, that can really slow things down apparently. So I was fully prepared to just like accept that, embrace it, take it, be good to go. Well, a few things. I would suggest that if this is you, you're going into, coming up on giving birth, one, find out first if it's a laxative or a stool softener that they've offered you. Number two, maybe consider whether or not you actually have anything in your system to digest. I went into labor on a Tuesday and gave birth on a Thursday, and I hadn't been able to keep anything down since like Tuesday at lunch. So probably didn't actually need the stool softener because I literally had nothing in my system. But anyways, wasn't thinking logically, took it anyways. I was proud. I was like, my first poop is going to be so good. Like, I am not that like first poop experience that people dread. Yeah, like it's going to be
Free
so
flowing.
great. Yeah, totally fine. It was not fine. I thank God. So when you have a cesarean, they have you on like an IV. I don't know if you had to have a catheter, but like I'd have a catheter for a while.
I had a catheter.
And so for a length of time they keep that in, and I had finally got all of my cords out. This was now probably 15 hours after they had offered me the stool softener. I was kind of wondering why nothing had happened, but wasn't too worried about it. And then it happened to be on the night when my daughter started cluster feeding, which if any of you have had that experience of a brand new baby when they finally decide that they are hungry, like
And
they
it's
scream
Stop.
bloody murder until your boob is in their mouth, and even once they pop off or if they're done, it lasts for like 5 minutes until they want back on again. So we had a lot of things happening kind of all at one time. And of course, I'm like feeding the baby. She's been cluster feeding. My husband's like trying to get a little bit of sleep. We hadn't slept in like almost 3 days by this point. And I was like, oh my God. My husband's like, what? I'm like, you need to take her. And I'm like, he's like, what? I'm like, come get the baby. Like, you need to get the baby now. And I'm like thinking, I'm going to die. Like, this is like not. And I was like, whatever. Like, it's going to be fine. Well, normally they say that the stool softener is supposed to just like soften things to make it pass smoothly. There was nothing soft about this. There was nothing solid about this. This was like a lake. Like it was
Waterfall.
like muddy water, maybe with like a few flecks in it, like at minimum. So then I'm like, okay, this is no good. Like something is not right. We are not okay. My baby's like screaming. My husband's like trying to rock her, but like he can't do anything, and like it wouldn't stop. And I'm like sitting there.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like I couldn't feed her. I couldn't stop. And whatever. So finally it ended. I'm like, okay, like that was lesson learned. I'm never taking a stool softener offered by the hospital again, which turned out to be laxative. And whatever. So then I like go back to bed, he passes me his baby, I get her shot again, and like maybe 15 minutes later, I was like, oh my God, like, come get the baby. And he's like, what? I'm like, come get her, like, get her now. And then, so I went again. And this went on for, like, a while. And I finally said to the nurse, like, something's not right. Like, this is not
Normal.
okay. I don't think, I'm like, this is, like, liquid. Like, maybe muddy water would be the best description. Like, I don't even know how to. She's like, well, like, we're going to need a sample.
Oh my God. Which is the last thing I'm sure you want to hear.
Of course. And so,
How do you get a sample when you're like shitting water out of your ass? Like, isn't it?
let me tell you. So after you have a cesarean, or maybe before you leave after vaginal birth, they have these little trays that you put in the toilet.
I know the tray. Yeah.
So that
make
they
sure
can
you get
measure
enough.
how much is coming out. They're like, well, just put that in there and leave the sample in there.
Shit in the tray.
Well, like, it's not even, it's like a piss shit. So it's like,
Spraying everywhere.
yeah, like, not okay. So anyways, I'm like dying of embarrassment for one. Like, I wanted to crawl into a hole at that point. And I, like, left the sample, paged the nurse. I'm like, I lost the sample. So they came and get it. And then things had, like, kind of settled down a little bit. So I'm feeding the baby again. And then the nurse comes in. And she's in, like, full gown, like, the face mask on, the gown, the gloves, the,
oh my
like,
God.
They're like,
hazard.
we need to put you, like, your sample's a little bit, I forget what word she used, but, like, something not right. And, like, we just need to put you on isolation until we can find out if you have, like, a parasite or
I thought you had gifts.
something like that. And I'm like, oh, good. Like, this is just what
This
we
is
need.
exactly what I need after just
This
having a
totally,
baby.
like, my ego feels so good about this right now. Like, I'm feeling so, confident and beautiful and, like, glowing, like, all of
You got
these.
toxic shit coming out of your butt.
Oh my God. So finally, like, hours later, anyone that came into the room in the meantime was, like, fully gowned up. We had, like, the curtain over our door. And they finally come back in and they're like, yeah, there was nothing wrong with it. Like, maybe we just won't give you one of those again. I'm like,
Yeah.
No.
right? So, yeah, that was that experience.
I've been trying to lose like a couple more pounds. Can you hook me up?
Yeah, I would not recommend.
No.
Would
Like,
not-
is it worse than
would not
shitting
have-
or sitting
Yeah.
on the
Would not
toilet all
recommend.
day?
Oh my
Have
God.
you guys ever had those Senna-teas?
Yes.
Oh,
Or
those.
Senna. Or
Yeah,
yeah, the
Senna
Senna
tea.
tea. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's that kind of experience for me. I drank 3 cups and I was like
Oh
on
my
the
God.
toilet the entire day.
Liquid
It was
magnesium. I've taken
non-
that
I've had
before.
that.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
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 But I can't imagine that experience of just having a baby
Yeah.
and
Oh,
having
yeah.
a C-section. So like
How did
it's
you
not like
get out
easy
of
for you to
bed?
get up and
Yeah.
down and like
Carefully.
Yeah.
Carefully.
Carefully
Yeah.
and quickly, it sounds like.
Yeah, like, I'd use one arm to, like, push, the other one to hold onto the handle, and then I'd kind of, like, turn,
Probably had to bring your
like,
IV
wiggle
with
my
you.
legs. No, thankfully they had disconnected it. Otherwise, like, I would have never made
Can
it.
you imagine if you were in some sort of a position where you weren't allowed out of the bed and they're like,
Oh
here,
my
use a bedpan.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Like,
lift your butt up and
Just-
spray it.
oh my God, if my husband would have had to see that.
Oh, it would have been
Oh.
done.
Oh.
Like, I
Yeah,
think
he
you have
already probably
postpartum
was.
trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be like one of those
PTSD.
people- You're like PTSD from your birth.
Oh
You're
my
why do you
God.
have PTSD? Is it like the birth of your baby's like, no. Like,
No.
it's my
My
shit.
wife took a laxative.
I'll never be the same
Yeah.
then. Oh my
So
God.
needless to say, again, if this is you, like, consider whether or not it's a stool softener or laxative,
What
whether or
you've
not
had
you
before.
actually need it, if you
Yeah.
have any food in your system.
And
And then just be
also,
prepared.
Yeah.
like, you don't have to drink it all at once, right?
yeah, or the
I
whole
remember
thing.
asking
I could
them
have
that.
literally just, like, sipped a little bit.
Yes. Because I
Kept
remember
drinking
asking,
water.
and they said, I was like, we
Yeah.
drop it off for you, right? No, this is whatever. I'm like, okay, like, do I need to, like, drink it all right away? No, you can just drink it throughout the day. I'm like, okay, well, that's good to know. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna drink it
Like,
right away.
That would have been a good question to ask.
Like
But
mine
here,
was just a
I'm
stool
thinking-
softener. I drank it all at once.
Yeah,
Okay.
mine too.
And I was thankful because I know that like there would be a string, like I'd be sitting on there just crying. But yeah, I feel like you're so in a daze and you're just like have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all these people are
You
talking
follow
and
blindly,
talking
like,
and you're
yeah.
just kind of like what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea.
See, they gave me the stool softener, the stool softener too, but I didn't take my first poop after like 5 days.
I didn't take it till I got home.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, like 5 days later, I finally took one.
I don't remember.
I took mine.
Because I feel like they didn't
before
let
I
me
left
leave
the hospital.
the hospital.
Usually they don't, apparently, but I don't know.
I
They
knew
were
I
like,
was
Yeah.
there forever.
oh, I would have been there for hours.
Yeah.
It was already there for 3 or 4 days.
Maybe
when
it's
they get me
different too,
there.
like if you've had a C-section, because you've probably had more of the like narcotics or whatever that are also constipating, so they know that it's going to take you a
Well,
couple
I know
more
back
days.
in the day, my mother-in-law told me, like, when they had C-sections, you would have to wait until you took your first poop to go out. But
Yeah.
I guess, like, now...
They're probably just like,
They-
it'll happen.
I think they want to
Why
get rid of
would-
people because they're so low on rooms, too.
Yeah.
Like, they just want to, like...
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
not like they're gonna take a sample for a regular poop, so you could just like,
Yeah, I
had
did.
one, it was fine.
Yeah,
yeah.
they're not gonna be like, oh,
Break
can you
the-
show me?
5 days later, you're driving to the hospital.
Like, I haven't pooped, I lied. I'm sorry.
Help me.
Yeah, I wasn't like messing around with that because I had the hemorrhoids or whatever, and I was like, I will definitely take that stool softener, but I didn't actually. It wasn't too much of a problem.
I actually bought Restorallax afterwards.
Yeah, they
Oh, yeah?
told me to
Because
take
I
that for
couldn't
quite
have
a while.
poop for a long time. Like,
Yeah.
it hurt.
Oh.
I think I took it for like a week or 2
I
weeks
took it
or
for
something
2
after.
weeks,
Just
yeah.
to lose a
Yeah.
couple,
I took it for a while.
Yeah.
So, not bad.
Yeah.
So let's hear about this bodysuit.
Yeah.
Oh man. So how old would I have been? Maybe 2021 probably. I was living in middle of nowhere, Saskatchewan, and I worked for this company that did.
You have a lot of good things to say about Saskatchewan so far. Middle of
So are you
nowhere.
from
Don't
there,
know if you've been
or-
on the road.
Yeah, I grew up. I lived in Saskatchewan for 18 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Alright,
moved
this
to
might be more
Alberta
sense
just in
now.
like 2014. So, I was probably 20 or 21. Lived in the middle of nowhere. Like the nearest airport was 2.5 hours away. So I guess
Middle of nowhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
This
Also known as
particular
bumfuck
area,
nowhere.
this particular area of Saskatchewan they actually call the Garlic Curtain. There's a lot of Ukrainians in that area.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's an
Interesting fact.
There's
The
a little
garlic
fun fact
curtain.
for you. Yeah, the
sounds
garlic
gross.
curtain. Yeah.
Sounds sexual somehow.
Vagina is like your curtain.
Right, yeah, your meat
So
curtains.
maybe that's
Oh.
Okay, so this is the garlic
Curtains.
Because they eat a lot of garlic.
Correct. Not to be confused with vaginas.
Yes.
So, in this area, there was not a lot of stores anywhere nearby, and online shopping wasn't really a thing there. But this company that I work for, we had a lot of events where the female employees had to wear like a white dress shirt and black dress pants, and the males wore, I think, a black shirt and khakis or something. And I hated that dress shirts always untucked, and I didn't want to leave it untucked because then it just looked stupid. So I had seen, this was back when Victoria's Secret had clothing. I would like look in their catalog or on the website, and I saw that they had these bodysuits that had the underwear attached so that it stayed tucked in. I'm like, that is
Brilliant.
freaking genius.
Yeah.
And so I thought I'd just get a little bit crafty, go to Walmart and get some like beige basic thong panties, use one of my own dress shirts, and like do it up. So I was so pumped. I got the panties like all sewn on. I like tried the whole thing on over a pair of leggings to send to my mom. I'm like, look how good of a job I did on this. Like,
Do you still have
even,
this
like-
picture?
yeah.
Yeah.
We need it.
And so I was so pumped about it. Like, it stayed tucked in. It was so awesome. But then I was like, oh my God. My mom's like, what? And I'm like, I was so excited to start on this project that I finished it. I had forgotten to get the shirt embroidered with the company logo ahead of time. So I knew the place where we took everything, and they knew that they were getting a batch of stuff from our company to embroider. So I'm like, I took it there personally. I was like, okay, here's a shirt. It needs the logo on it. Like, phone me when it's done. And I even put like my name and my phone number and safety pinned it to the shirt. Put like call when done, because all of the rest of the clothes that get embroidered just go back to like the main location. And so sure enough, like a few days later, I get a phone call from one of the ladies at one of the other locations, and she's like, hey, so I think I have something of yours here. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, what is that? She's like, dare I call it like a bodysuit? Is that what it's like? I was like, oh my God. Here they had just like thrown it in with everything else. It got sent over to the main store. I have
They
no
must
idea
have
how many
been like,
people
oh
saw it
my
before I
God.
picked it up. I was like, oh my God.
They also
Right.
must have thought you were a genius, though. And I
Well,
bet you all the
yeah.
other girls were jealous.
I saw
Yeah.
the picture and I was like, you got skills. Because if that was me, it would be like the most.
I probably would have like used a stapler.
Something terrible happened to your shirt.
Yeah.
And something, I don't know why it was just your shirt, but something terrible happened to it. So at least they recognized it as a bodysuit. That's a plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was
It's
thankful that it
amazing.
was like a fresh pair of panties, not like,
Yeah,
and then I didn't
Old ones
use
are
like
yeah.
old
like a period panties or
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. At least they were.
And every time that
Precious
woman
ones.
saw you wearing it, you know what she was envisioning.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely,
Like this.
absolutely.
And who knows how many other people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's
that was-
cool.
That was.
So that explains how you're really thrifty. She can make her own bodysuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say some of your other like real thrift finds have been? Or like what do you do to like cut corners, save money?
So before having Olivia, I actually I researched a little bit on how to get free things for your baby.
Okay.
And so I ended up actually creating, and like the funny thing is like we don't actually need to do this. It's just like it's like a challenge for me to see how cheap I can get things more often than not. So I signed up at a registry at like every place that had the swag bags.
Oh yeah.
You
And then-
probably get 1,000 emails every.
No,
Yeah.
but then you like sign up, pick up the swag bags, and just like unsubscribe. Yeah. And so I got quite a bit of stuff that way. All of those like mom and baby trade shows. I'd find like codes for free entry to them, and then like go enter all of the draws and then leave. And I've actually, so doing that, I've gotten a tutu for her. I won a tower of diapers.
Oh wow.
One lady, it was like if you like her Facebook page in the month of October or something, you get entered for a bracelet. I won the bracelet.
Cool.
What
was your best prize? Just say it.
Well, probably the tower of diapers.
I was
I
gonna
know.
say
I
that
wasn't-
sounds amazing.
Oh.
No, it wasn't.
She won a mom gang T-shirt.
Oh,
everybody.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that one was
That was post baby.
My sister went to one of those trade shows. She gave me like a bunch of coupons. It's like 50% off, 70% off.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, that's awesome. I went and I ordered like every single thing that I could using, because it ended up, some of them were like dollars. So like
Yeah.
$25, $30.
Yeah.
So I went on these sites and I spent like the exact amount of like the coupon. Little did I know everything was coming from China, and I got like a nursing pillow, and I could not stop laughing because I was like, okay, this can't be the nursing pillow. How did they send it in my mailbox?
Yeah.
Like they can't squish something unless it grows. And then I opened it up. Sure enough, it was the nursing
Just
pillow.
like tiny,
It could
tiny.
fit a Barbie or like a doll. I was like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. Like, this is a nursing. I was like, okay, this is gonna be like
Either
so much
that or, like,
Callie's dolls and like
You still have to pay shipping, and then it turns out it's U.S., and so you end up paying
Yeah.
still like $40
Oh, yeah.
Canadian for these shoes that came from China.
I
Yeah.
like some of the items turned out to be like really good. Like I got shoes and I got these diaper covers with like frillies on the bottom.
Oh, cute.
And I got a few things, but that nursing pillow, I was
That's
like dying.
hilarious.
And my husband gave me the hardest time about it. So I was like, I have to use all these coupons. And he's like, you're paying just as much for like the shipping. It's probably going to be nothing. It's probably going to be garbage. I'm like, no, it's going to be a nice nursing pillow and everything. Look at all these nice styles and stuff. And sure
The
enough,
pictures look
I showed
awesome.
him and he was just like, oh my god, this is why. And I was like,
Yeah.
damn it. I also got like this carrier for the stroller. And in 2 days it fell apart. So
Oh,
I know.
yeah,
Yeah.
so just a warning on that. If you think that you're getting all this free money,
It's too good
and
to be
not-
true.
It probably
It
is.
probably is.
money, but
Yeah.
just a heads up to all those moms.
Yeah.
Do you extreme coupon? Like grocery shopping and stuff? Are you that?
No.
No?
No. I'll do like Save On, like on the first Tuesday of the month. They have their 15% off day or whatever, like that.
A little bit more mindful about things that are.
Yeah, like so those days I'll stock up.
Do you know about the happy hour at Save-On?
I do know about the happy
What's happy hour?
I just went yesterday and got a bunch of dollar
I think it's
sausages.
between like it's either 3 and 6
3 to
p.m.
6.
or
Yeah, between 3 and 6, 3 and 6 or 3 and 7 p.m.
On every day?
No.
Yeah.
I think now it's 4 days a week. I think.
Is it 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just there and it was like dollar sausages yesterday, and then the day before that is
like
like
20% off
chicken
price
skewers
skewers.
for like $1 or $2. Like all their meats, they rotate it and do it half price or whatever.
Yeah.
Chicken
That's
wings,
really
25 cents a chicken wing on
I
Tuesday.
honestly have to be better about that. I spend so much money on groceries. I never look at prices.
I always look at prices.
I never do. Well, I might look at them, but I'm still getting it.
I just go down the aisles and I'm like, this looks good,
Yeah.
this looks good, and then I go through the till and it's like, that's $300 and some dollars.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
No, it's for the sale
Yeah.
stickers.
I don't, and I need to, and it doesn't mean that I can't still eat what I want to, but I need to
Even
know,
Eat it on
like,
the day
so
that-
see what's
For
on
example,
sale and
yeah.
plan your meal around it.
yeah, like we eat a lot of steak, and so on the 15% off day, I'll grab like quite a bit of it because they vacuum seal it and then whatever. So it's
Right.
usually good for at least 2 to 3 weeks
Yeah,
until
yeah,
it
yeah.
expires. So I'll get a few of those.
A few of them, yeah.
3 weeks.
Yeah, I gotta. Maybe that'll be my New Year thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
First
not
Tuesday
a.
of the month.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's if you spend $50 or more, and I didn't know that, and I went on a Tuesday and I spent $35, and I
Oh
was like,
shoot!
and usually
Oh,
you
I've
can
done
pick
that
if you want
before.
more points or
Yeah,
if you want.
yeah.
And I was like, I'll take the 15% off. She's like, sorry, you have to spend $50. I was like, oh, and there was
I
like
would've
people
grabbed-
behind me. They're like,
I would have started grabbing the chocolate bar.
I'll take 50 chocolate bars.
25
then.
Yeah.
Mind you, yeah, you buy a bunch of things you didn't need just to get that.
Just to
50%
get there.
off.
Which you probably works out to
Yeah.
the same price anyways.
Which is sometimes like it's not so bad in Airdrie, but when I lived in Calgary, like garage sale and stuff like that, I would drive all around the city to
Oh
pick
my
up
God.
things,
all
and
around
it's like
Calgary?
by the
Makes all
time
your
like your
gas.
time, your gas, like
Yeah.
should have
Yeah,
bought
like-
it.
I know.
That
I
actually
get
wasn't
you.
worthwhile.
Yeah.
I never leave the city, like Airdrie.
No.
City.
Oh, I know.
I never
Unless I
leave
have
the
to.
city.
Unless
Yeah.
I have to.
So you obviously you're a fitness instructor. You teach yoga classes, bar classes. What did you do personally to kind of get back in shape after baby? Because you look banging.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, every time I see her, she looks better than
Yeah.
the last time I saw her. I'm like, what are you doing? I need to get on this. What are your tricks?
So, for me, I treated it a little differently than most people would need to. I had a goal that I wanted to get to a place where if I wanted to go back teaching some classes by the new year, so now, that I could. And in order to do that, obviously, I needed to be conditioned enough that I could teach a class, demo things without risking injury.
Right. Thanks for listening to part 1 of the Real Mom Gang special guest, Stephanie Henderson. Next week, we'll hear more from Stephanie on her health and fitness journey after pregnancy, as well as connecting with her husband and much, much more.